Welcome everyone to round 8 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. The summer break is over. We now descend on the final 3 rounds of the championship, starting here at the Red Bull Ring. My name's Chris McCarthy. It's an absolute pleasure to be back to call you through the action. We begin here at the Red Bull Ring. Then in a month's time, we will go to Barcelona before we head to Mugello. As you can see, the cars already out on the circuit. We've had a slight delay to the action this morning, so thank you for bearing with us there. But qualifying is now underway for the first race, which will be coming up a little bit later. No changes to how the timetable will work. Qualifying and race 1 coming up today, and then the second qualifying and race 2 coming up tomorrow. We do have some changes to the grid. However, Gillian Henrion has been brought in to replace Axel Noss at G4 Racing. The Swiss driver picked up an injury after crashing at Spa during free practice. Axel is here and did tell me that he will be back racing at Barcelona, but great to have Gillian racing with us this weekend. He was racing at Le Mans a little bit earlier this year. Teresa Babachkova will be making her debut in the championship with G4 Racing. The Czech teenager has been racing in the W Series this season with the Puma W Series team. Now, she's jumped up straight from karting. She was racing in the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals at Bahrain last year. That's really where she starred, won the race on track before picking up a penalty and finishing in 4th place, but made a real name for herself in karting last year. A bit of a big step up for her, but definitely one to watch, and she's preparing to go testing in FIA F3 a little bit later this month. Pierre-Louis Chauvet will replace Pietro Deligoanti at RPM for the final 3 rounds. We had a chat to him in our Paddock Live show yesterday. He raced in 2020 in the championship, finishing 5th overall, lining up alongside Owen Tangarello. Sebastian Ogard joins KIC Motorsport, making the switch from Euro Formula Open. Great to have him with us. He's the reigning Spanish F4 vice champion, and Nicola Marin-Angeli will continue in the championship as well. Great to have him continuing with us. As ever, for those of you new to the championship, let's remind you how qualifying works. The drivers are split into 2 groups. Group A consists of the drivers 1st, 3rd, 5th in the championship, and so on. Group B consists of the drivers 2nd, 4th, 6th in the championship, and so on. Group A will go out first today, and Group B will go out first on track tomorrow. That is how it works. The quicker group at the end of qualifying will line up on the inside row of the grid for the race. The slower group will line up on the outside row of the grid for the race. That is how it is going to work. Now, throughout the weekend so far, the conditions have been incredibly mixed, so getting a dry session could throw a spanner in the works here. Let's go through the drivers we've got out there. Of course, our championship leader, Dino Beganovic, who leads the series by 41 points. Paul Aron, 2 4th places for him last time. We've got Kaz Havercourt out there as well, has had some good form in recent rounds. Let's see how he does. Mari Boyer, who got back in the points last time out as well. He's out there in the 30. Sebastian Montoya, fresh from that absolutely fantastic performance in FIA F3. He is out there as well. Tim Tramnitz also out there, got a rookie win last time out. Josh Dufek also out there as well, has been putting in some really impressive performances last time, moving him up to 14th in the championship. Roman Belinsky out there as well, just missing out on a top 10 last round. Lawrence Van Hoopen is in the 42, Maceo Capietto is in the 5, Victor Bernier, who gained 16 places in a race at the last round, he's in the number 12, Santiago Ramos is in the 68, Levente Rivets is in the 11, Delano Van Hoff, second round back from injury, is in the 77. Pietro Armani in the 6. Hamda Al-Khabaisi is in the 88, had her best qualifying performances of the season last time. Feeling very, very confident, it has to be said. She's in the 88. Then two of our newbies. Pierre-Louis Chauvet is in the 55. Watch out for him in the orange and green colours. And Teresa Babichkova in the 22. Watch out for her in the red and black colours. There we go. I think that clears everything up. The drivers are just starting to put some times down. It does take a little bit of time for these Pirelli tyres to get in. The drivers do take their time bringing them up to speed. There we can see Mari Boyer in the number 30, the orange MP Motorsport car. Currently leading the way is Sebastian Montoya, 129.446 for him so far. Let's see how he gets on as we watch Pietro Armani in the 6th there, making his way uphill. Here are the Van Amersfoort team making their way downhill. Now, one thing we do need to clear up very quickly is track limits as well. It was a big talking point in the drivers' briefing yesterday. Now, track limits, I'll talk a little bit about it when we get to the corners that it's going to consist of. The final 2 corners and the first corner is where track limits is going to come into play. You have to have at least 1 inch of the tyre, or just a bit of one tyre touching the red and white bit of the curb. There you can see to the left of screen, 1 bit of the tyre has to be touching that curb. We have sensors and cameras installed this year to make sure that's in place. So there you can see as the drivers running a little bit wide there through the final 2 corners. That's where it's going to be heavily monitored. So we'll point it out to you as they come through up to the final 2 corners. Well, we're watching Tim Tramnitz. Here comes Dino Beganovic. Behind him is Sebastian Montoya, and here comes Paul Aron, one of our championship chargers. So here we go, final 2 corners. You have to be just touching this red and white curb there, and through the final corner, same rule applies. If you run off 4 wheels onto the green runoff area, then the lap time gets deleted if you do it at turn 9. If you do it at turn 10, i.e. the final corner, the lap time gets deleted and the next lap gets deleted as well. If you run all 4 wheels over the sausage curb, the lap gets deleted. Simple as that. That's how it works in qualifying. We'll talk about the race when it comes to it. We had a lot of penalties last year, so this year sensors and cameras have been installed to make sure, or at least hope, that the drivers behave themselves a little bit better. Paul Aron then, he's gone to the top of the times, 127.426 for him. Dino Beganovic is second, just under a tenth behind. Tim Tramnitz is third. Overall position, Matteo Capietto currently on row number 6. Then it's a row number 7 for Sebastian Montoya, row number 8 for Kaz Havercourt. Hamda Al-Khabaisi is next on row 9. Pierre-Louis Chauvet on row number 10. Then Delano Van Hoff, then Josh Dufek, then Ramos, Van Hoopen, Rivets, Boyer, Armani, Babichkova rounding out the field, 2.3 seconds behind. But as you can see, Paul Aron, purple, could extend his gap. You've got to be careful. We are having lap times being removed on screen. Paul Aron makes his way up to the line now. Does not go quickest. Dino Beganovic does. 127.104 for Beganovic. Aron does improve, but cannot beat the time of Beganovic. 0.05 of a second between them. 127.104 for Beganovic, the man on your screen there in the red and white Prema. Aron is second. Pierre-Louis Chauvet has just gone up to 4th place. The man who has been brought in to replace Pietro Deligoanti, the Frenchman, goes up to 4th place. Roman Belinsky up to 5th place, the rookie doing a fantastic job there. Havercourt is 6th, Bernier is 7th, Montoya is 8th, Dufek is 9th, Van Hoopen is 10th place, and it's Van Hoff, Boyer, Capietto, Al-Khabaisi, Ramos, Armani, Rivets, Babichkova. Improvements coming in from Mari Boyer. Al-Khabaisi likewise as well. Rivets looks like he's improving. We've got good improvements coming in from Kaz Havercourt through the first sector. Paul Aron looking very quick through the first sector, as is Josh Dufek as well. Josh Dufek absolutely flying, really growing in confidence as the season goes on. Let's watch Dino Beganovic come through. Here come two of the Prema drivers. Paul Aron on our screens now, the Estonian. Oh, just about within track limits, I think there. Paul Aron just about got away with that one as he comes down to the final corner, grabs a toe from his teammate, up to the line he goes. Can he go quicker? Yes, but not to the top. Paul Aron second place, 127.132, and that demotes Tim Tramnitz to third, who briefly went to second place. Tim Tramnitz, the German driver, P3 for him so far. Has fantastic form at this circuit. Let's watch then. Did he stay within track limits? Just. If your four wheels on the green part of the runoff area, then your lap time will be deleted. In the race, it's a case of 3 strikes and you're out kind of thing. You do it 3 times, you get a warning. After that, the 5-second penalties start to come into play. So Paul Aron just about got away with that one, 127.132. Right, Pierre-Louis Chauvet has just gone purple through the first sector. The RPM driver there in the orange and green colours has just gone purple, quickest of anyone. I think that's the first driver, one of the first drivers we've seen go below 22 seconds. Is this him coming towards us now? Yes, I think it is. Pierre-Louis Chauvet, there he is in the number 55. He's absolutely flying, it's the Frenchman. Oh no, but he's slowed down through the second sector, must have been delayed somewhere. So Pierre-Louis Chauvet had made a mistake somewhere, backed off on this lap. 2.5 to go, stays within track limits. He was one of the drivers I spoke to about that, actually. Just about stays within it as he sets up for another lap, as we see an improvement there from Matteo Capietto. P4 for him, P5 for Dufek. Great stuff from the 2 rookie drivers there, challenging Tim Tramnitz heavily now, who runs in 3rd place. Just over 2 minutes to go. Beganovic, Aron, Tramnitz, Capietto, Dufek, Montoya, Chauvet, Vantoff, Bernier, Belinsky rounds out the top 10, Habecourt, Alkebasi, Van Hopen, Boyer, Rivets, Ramos, Armani, Babachkova rounding out the field. 1.2 seconds between the top 17 drivers. Incredibly close out there. There's only 0.6 between the top 30. Here's Pierre-Louis Chauvet we saw coming down towards the first sector. No one really improving on this lap. Everyone's gone slower. We're watching Dino Beganovic making his way through the second sector. Goes a little bit quicker through there. Pierre-Louis Chauvet has gone slightly quicker through the first sector, it seems. Dino Beganovic making his way now down through the final 2 corners. He's only got himself to beat through that first sector, and he's managed to do it. Here comes Dino Beganovic then up to the line. Only himself to beat in terms of overall lap times. Can he beat it? Yes, 126.941. The first driver to go sub 127, but is it about to be beat? Sab Montoya goes up to 3rd place, but that's immediately beaten by Capietto. Pierre-Louis Chauvet goes to 2nd. Fantastic driving from Pierre-Louis Chauvet on his first appearance of 2022. Chauvet up to 2nd place for RPM. Keith Donegan will be over the moon with what he's seeing here from the Frenchman. Beganovic up to 3rd, Capietto 4th, Montoya 5th, Dufek 6th, Tramnitz 7th, Vantoff 8th, Boyer 9th, Belinsky in 10th place. Here's Paul Aron though, he's improving on this lap. Downhill on the brakes he goes in towards turn number 4. Now he makes his way flat out through turn number 5. Up towards turn 6 and 7 we go. Coming up to the end of the second split, which is between these next couple of corners. Up through turn number 6 now, makes his way in towards turn number 7, and you can see he's purple, quicker than anyone. Pierre-Louis Chauvet has lost a little bit of time through the second sector. Oh, and mistake there from Chauvet. I don't think he's going to improve. Aron might extend his gap out front. Checkered flag is waving. Josh Dufek might improve here. We might see an improvement from Vantoff as well. We also might see an improvement from Kaz Habecourt, and he really needs to improve. Here they come up to the line. Beganovic won't improve on 3rd. It looks like, have we seen an improvement from Vantoff? I think we might have done. Tramnitz is up to 7th place. Capietto up to 4th place. Chauvet did not improve. He stays in 2nd. Paul Aron did a 126.737. So he did improve on that final lap. What about Josh Dufek? Is he going to improve? He went quicker through the first sector, a little bit slower through the second. He currently sits in 6th place, stays in 6th place for the time being, and will do as the checker flag is waving. Kaz Havercourt goes to 8th place and needed to improve, and Kaz Havercourt, right at the death, gets himself onto the 8th row of the grid. Well, Paul Aron then provisionally will be on pole position. Victor Bernier had his time removed on that last lap. Here we see the mistake from Chauvet coming through turn 7, just a little bit too eager to get the throttle down, hits one of those sausage curbs on the exit, and unfortunately that was the moment that Pierre-Louis Chauvet lost a chance to fight Paul Aron for pole position in this group. So Aron then, quickest time, let's make a note of this, 1:26.737. Now, reason we've got to make a note of that is because if the next group beats it, or the next group has to beat it if they want to start on the inside of the grid. But Paul Aron provisionally will be on pole position. Pierre-Louis Chauvet will be on the inside of row 2 provisionally. Beganovic on row 3, Maceo Capietto row 4. Sebastian Montoya will start in the top 10, Dufek just outside it, Tramnitz on row 7, Havercourt row 8, Van Hoopen row 9, Van Toff, that's more like it, row 10, I think he'll be fairly satisfied with that. Belinsky, row 11, will be a little bit disappointed, making his debut at this circuit though. Bernier, row 12, Alcabasi, row 13, Boya, row 13, a little bit disappointing for him. Rivets, row 15, then we have Santiago Ramos on row 16, Pietro Armani, row 17, Teresa Babich-Koba, 18th place, 2.3 seconds behind. That is a good effort from her on her very first weekend in the car. Well, there you can see the cars making their way back into the pit lane, gives us a chance to catch our breath back. There we can see the man who will provisionally be on pole position, Paul Aron. We've seen him take a few so far. Paul Aron, the Estonian, jumping out the car. Had that fantastic weekend at Zandvoort. Overall, in terms of pole positions overall in Freca, he sits second, 2 behind Gregoire Saucy, 6 pole positions for him overall. Gregoire holds the record at 8 pole positions. Let's see if Paul Aron can close that down this weekend. Paul Aron, who's looking to get back on the podium for the first time since he had that double win at Zandvoort. He did take pole position last time out in race 2 at Spa, but finished in P4, so it would be a back-to-back pole position if he could go and do it. Let's go through the drivers then, whilst we haven't got any cars on grid who are going to be in Group B. Gabriele Mini, who is 41 points back from Dino Beganovic, second in the championship. He's going to be in car 46. Hadrian David, who finished on the podium here last year, he's going to be in car 26. Gabriel Bortoleto, winner last time out, of course, took his first ever win in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. What a win it was as well. And you've seen a bit of a difference from him, actually, definitely in his confidence. Gabriel Bortoleto, it was definitely a very deserved victory from him, the 85. He's worked incredibly hard for it. Mr. Consistency is Gabriel Bortoleto, but finally got that win. And this was a track he did very well at. This was Pierre-Louis Chauvet coming up the hill. Fantastic performance from him there. He'll be starting on the first couple of rows. He's starting on the front row, Paul Aron. Gabriel Bortoleto, though, as we said, a man who's always been incredibly consistent, 6th in the championship. Leonardo Fornaroli, our rookie leader in the championship, sits 9th place overall. Our rookie leader, but yet to take a rookie win, and it does frustrate him slightly. He sort of always goes, when am I going to get this rookie win? He's taken 6 top 10s in a row now. Let's see if this weekend will be the weekend for him. Lorenzo Fluxa, who got back in the points last time. Great results for Lorenzo Fluxa. much-needed points finish for him as well with P5. It was his 4th visit to the points. He's out there in the 16. Dudu Barrichello is in the 91. 2 points finishes last time, his 1st visit to the points and his 1st to the podium as well. And we spoke to the Arden team during our paddock show yesterday, and they've just said what a change they've seen in him. It was a result that they always knew he could get, but it was just a case of breaking through for him. Went from 24th to 13th in the championship in the space of 1 weekend. Sami Megatunov, a podium for him as well. Got in the points in the very first race of the season, but got back in there and on the podium as well. Fantastic performance from him. He's in the 17. Joshua Dirksen is out there in the number 10. Owen Tangavelu in the 65. 3 9th places in a row for the Frenchman. Noel Leon, a bit of a home race for the Red Bull Junior. Watch out for him in the 19 in the Red Bull colours. Esteban Masson in the 64 was very quick yesterday. There's Teresa Babich-Koba in the W Series race suit. She's had her very first weekend in the car. Esteban Masson was quick in the wet, so might be hoping for some rain, but let's see what he can do. His 2nd weekend with the ART team. Nico Baptiste is in the 35. Francesco Braschi, who's starting to show some great improvements, particularly in qualifying, actually. Watch out for him in the 9 in the FA Racing car. FA Racing, who took Gabriel Bortoletto to that podium here last year. Mateusz Zagazzetta, the birthday boy, turned 19 this week. Did Mateusz Zagazzetta on Thursday. He's out there in the number 8. Lawrence van Hoopen, we had 2 birthdays this week. It was Lawrence van Hoopen, he turned 17 on Tuesday as well. Jota Wisnicki's out there in the 21. Nicola Marinangeli in the 24. Gillian Henrion is in the number 7, as we said, replacing Axel Noss. And Sebastian Ogard is in the 28. There's Bortoletto. Great memories for him at this circuit. Can he go and create some more? 12 minutes left on the clock. It was towards the end of the session, wasn't it, when we really saw those times start to pile in. There we see the number 24 of Nicola Marinangeli. Finished 20th and 21st here last year with the Arden team. Let's see what he can go and do this year. Make their way down the start-finish straight, that steep climb up towards turn number 1. You've got to be careful you don't ride that sausage curb too much. There is Dudu Barrichello. The Arden team in general actually have had a really, really strong weekend so far. They had all 3 cars in the top 10 yesterday in practice. It's been an incredibly strong weekend for them. Let's see what they can do. Going back to Mateusz Zagazzetta, actually, is another driver who the summer break did some good for him. Actually, incredibly confident when I saw him on Thursday, looked really up for getting going again. Mateusz Zagazzetta signed to the Infinity Sports Management Program now as well. Seemed like he'd been working really hard during the summer break and was very excited for the final 3 rounds of the season. And this summer break can come at a good time and a bad time for these drivers. But I think for some of the rookie drivers in particular, it came at a good time. I think for this man, likewise, I think it came at a good time for him, didn't it? Gabriele Mini disqualified after finishing on the podium. What an up and down 15 or so minutes that was for him. Gabriele Mini, who of course had that slow puncture which caused him to pull off the circuit at Spa, and then the red flag came out, which meant he did get the podium, but then he was later disqualified from the race after failing the scrutineering checks. It was a real shame for the ART driver. It was just a real shame for him. Let's see if he can come back from that this time. Gabriele Mini making his way up towards turn number 3. 41 points back from Dino Beganovic in the championship. He is not out of it just yet. We will keep an eye on him. Here is Joshua Dirksen in the number 10. Makes his way now up towards turn 6 and 7. You can see the drivers just bringing the tyres up to temperature. He's a driver who has taken victory here in Italian F4, beat Gabriele Mini on that occasion as well. That was back in 2020. So Dirksen in the number 10 there, has stood on the podium here. Dudu Barrichello makes his way downhill, following his teammate. All the Arden drivers out there line astern as they come around the final corner and down the start-finish straight. Owen Tangavellu going very quickly now. Remember, the time to beat is a 1:26.737. If the guys in this session beat it, then they form the inside row of the grid. If they don't, they will start on the outside row of the grid. Simple as that. Quickest time so far, 1:28.424. So we're still a second and a half away from the quickest time we saw in that first group. This sets the grid for our first race coming up later this weekend. A couple of lockups coming up towards turn number 3. There's Owen Tangavellu in the number 65. As we said, 3 ninth places in a row for him. He's on a real good run of 4. Makes his way downhill now, round towards turns 6 and 7. Owen Tangavellu leading the way in this session so far. Still a long way to go. 7 minutes and 10 seconds. Owen Tangavellu, let's see what he can do. See if he can continue this run of top 10 finishes. What about that man there, Sami Megatuniv? Can he get another podium and add to what he got last time out? Joshua Dirksen goes quickest. Right, we're getting close now, 1:27.375. It's about time we started paying close attention to the times. Owen Tangavellu, what can he do? He comes up to the line, 1:27.5. That puts him in 3rd place, but only pretty well it does. Leonardo Fornaroli was there, drops to 4th place. Gabriele Mini in 5th place. Owen Tangavellu up to 3rd place. It's Dirksen from Barrichello, Tangavellu, Fornaroli, Mini, Bortoletto, Megatunic, David, Leon. Then it's Lorenzo Fluxa, Masson, Zagazzetta, Marinangeli, Henrion, Ogard, Baptiste, Braschi, Wisnicki. 1.7 between the entire field. Noel Leon has just had a lap time removed for track limits at turn 9, so the penultimate corner. Owen Tangavellu has gone quickest, so there you can see Noel Leon. He did track limits through the penultimate corner. Here is the quickest man on track on this lap. Owen Tangavellu is absolutely flying. He comes up towards the 2nd sector now, but he's catching traffic. Through turn 6 he goes. Up towards turn number 7. He's closing in on Leonardo Fornaroli. Those two right together in terms of positions. A little bit of oversteer coming through turn number 7, similar to what we saw from Pierre-Louis Chauvet. Lorenzo Fluxa goes through in the 16. There is Fornaroli in the 72. Here comes Tangavellu. Barrichello goes quickest. 1:27.2 for Dudu Barrichello. Hadrian David now quickest. 1:27.1. Tangavellu, is he about to go quickest? Up to the line he comes now. 3rd place for Owen Tangavellu. Great time from him, but Sami Megatuniv goes P2. The MP Motorsport driver, what a time from Sami. Dudu Barrichello, that knocks him to 3rd. Tangavellu is then in 4th. We've just had a lap time removed for Lorenzo Fluxa. That drops him down to P12. Dirksen is 5th. Mini is 6th. Bortoletto is 7th. Fornaroli 8th. Zagazzetta in the top 10. Masson is 10th. Then it's Leon, Braschi, Fluxa, Marinangeli, Henrion, Baptiste, Wisnicki, Ogard. Just over 1.5 seconds between the entire field. Who's going to go quickest on this lap? Less than 5 minutes to go. Tangavellu quickest through the 1st sector. There you can see times at the bottom of your screen. We're watching the all blue colours here of Hadrian David, the RSGP driver, making his way now through turn 7, up towards the final 2 corners. Through turn 8 he goes, now towards turn number 9. loses a bit of time through the second sector. Gabriele Mini has gone purple through the second sector. Gabriele Mini, there you can see the time pop up at the bottom of your screen. I think we might see him about to go quickest. Hadrian David comes up to the line now. Does he improve on his time? P3 for Hadrian David. What about Owen Tangavelu? Up to the line he goes. Gabriele Mini goes second. Gabriele Mini up to P2. Owen Tangavelu P6 for him. Sami Megatuniv, P4. Bortoletto is up to P5. Tangavelu 6, then it's Fornaroli, Dirksen. Zagazeta is next. Masson is in P10. 3.5 left, and Dudu Barrichello 127.044. We're 3/10 away from that time we saw from Paul Aron in the first group. Less than 1/10 of a second between the top 3 drivers here. Just under 3/10 between the top 7. It's incredibly close. Dudu Barrichello fighting for pole position. The Brazilian makes his way now through turns number 6 and 7. Oh, Dirksen running wide off onto the gravel will drag some of that back on to the circuit there, and that's going to lose Josh Dirksen time now. He's running up in 8th place so far. He still went quicker through the second sector. Oh no, he's got damage on his car now. Joshua Dirksen, I think, might have to come in there, and does. Boxes, that could be session over for Joshua Dirksen. P8, that's a real shame. He was about to improve. Here comes Dudu Barrichello up to the line, followed by Noel Leon. Can we see Dudu Barrichello improve? Up to the line he comes. No, does not improve. What about Noel Leon behind P9 for him? Does improve in time. Behind that, Owen Tangavelu is improving. We've also got Owen Tangavelu goes up to P4, so an improvement from Tangavelu from 6th to 4th, just like that. There's Gabriele Mini running in 2nd place in this session. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left. Bit of a lock up there from the number 46 as he makes his way downhill in towards turn number 3. Didn't really see any other big improvements. Francesco Braschi did improve on that last lap. Lorenzo Fluxa improved. He's running in P9. Here we see Dudu Barrichello. He's not able to improve through the first sector. They're going to get one more at the end of this. This might be a set-up lap for Dudu Barrichello to go for one more big run. You can see he's losing time. Is he backing off? I think he is, just setting up for one more big run maybe. Oh, it looks like he might be. Is he going to box here, Dudu? Is he going to try and get a tow from Noel Leon? Clever driving there potentially from Dudu. If that's the case, Gabriele Mini has gone purple. Oh, Noel Leon running wide, so that lap will be deleted, I think. Here we go then for one more. Up to the line we go. We had a lap time deleted for Francesco Braschi. I don't think we're going to see any big improvers on this lap. Hadrian David might improve. P3 for him. Hadrian David in the blue just behind Gabriele Mini, but it's one more attempt here for the drivers to try and beat that 126.737 we saw from Paul Aron. Are we going to see anyone beat it? Or is it going to be back-to-back pole positions for Paul Aron? Out of the third corner we go. Gabriele Mini is up. Hadrian David is up as well. Dudu Barrichello trying to get a tow from Noel Leon as they make their way downhill now in towards turn number 4. We can see Gabriele Mini on our screen in the white and black there. No one has improved through the first sector. The only driver that did was Lorenzo Fluxa. He did a personal best, but no one really improving here. Gabriele Mini and Hadrian David, you can see fractionally improving on their own laps really, but no one is improving on the best lap time as they make their way now through the second sector. It doesn't look like we're going to see any big changes here. Checkered flag is now waving up to the final 2 corners. Owen Tangavelu is finding time. Fornaroli is finding time through the second sector. Oh, Hadrian David ran wide. That'll be lap time deleted for him. Hadrian David will be 3rd and no better as they make their way up to the start-finish line. Are we going to see any changes? No, Leon stays in 12th place. Dudu Barrichello across the line can't improve. Gabriele Mini doesn't improve. Hadrian David will not be able to improve. Owen Tangavillu improves. P2 for Owen Tangavillu. It will be an all RPM row 2. The number 65 car goes second with a 127.088. Gabriele Mini is third. Hadrian David is fourth. Sami Megatunov will be in the top 10. Gabriel Bortoletto will start just outside it. Fornaroli P7. Dirksen P8. Fluxer P9. There was a change just towards the end there as well. Fornaroli 7th. Bortoletto P6 coming up at the end there as well. Fornaroli P7. Dirksen 8th. Zagazeta 9th. Fluxer in P10. What a lap time from that man there. Tangavillu coming up to second place right at the end. 44 thousandths of a second behind Dudu Barrichello. Less than a tenth of a second between the top 4 drivers in the session. But the man starting on the front row alongside Paul Aron will be that man there. He got his first podium last time. Dudu Barrichello will be fighting to take another, if not his first race win. The number 91 will start on the outside of the front row. Dudu Barrichello shows that Spa was no fluke for him. He goes quickest in Group B, the ardent driver putting his car on the front row. Owen Tangavillu goes to second to show RPM are at the front and they are there to stay. Gabriele Mini in P3, Hadrian David in P4. Sami Megatunov puts himself in the top 10. Look at the French drivers in the top 10 there, 3 of them in the top 5 in this session. Gabriel Bortoletto P6, he'll start just outside the top 10 on row 6. Fornaroli row 7, Dirksen row 8, Zagazeta row 9 will be pleased with that, I think. Fluxer will be on row 10, Masson row 11, Noel Leon on row 12, Brasky row 13, then it will be Marin Angeli row 14, Ogard row 15 on his debut, Henry on row 16, Baptiste row 17, Wiznicki on row 18. It does mean that Paul Aron takes his 7th pole position in Freca. He is now just 1 behind the record of Gregoire Saucy, so it's a 7th pole position. It's back-to-back pole positions for Paul Aron. In this group, though, Gabriele Mini, 3rd place for him. He'll start 6th place in the race coming up this afternoon. Starting from 4th place will be Owen Tangavillu, the RPM driver, doing a fantastic performance, the top rookie in this group. But the man who was quickest, Dudu Barrichello, 2 points finishes, a podium for him last time. Can he go 1 better this time? He starts 1 better. He starts from P2. Join us later for the first race at 45 minutes past 1 local time here in Austria.